I love you. I love you so much. Clyde, you're crazy. Hey guys, what's up and welcome to my channel. My name is Miley. If you are new here, I do a new DIY video every single week. And this week, and also for the entire month of November, I am going to be flipping furniture. I have actually never flipped furniture. Okay, I have flipped furniture for personal use. Obviously, if you've seen previous videos, you know that already, but I have never furniture flipped in the sense of buying something, fixing it up, and selling it to make a profit. And since I'm a total amateur at this process, I thought it would be fun to give this a try for an entire month, and hopefully throughout the month I learn a lot, I get to take you guys on this journey, and of course hopefully do some really dope transformations. Oh, and one last thing before we get started furniture flipping. Throughout the month I am gonna let you know when an item is sold, but to build a little bit of suspense for the end of the month, I am going to wait to reveal to you what I sold every piece for, of course the profit I made on it, and then giving you guys the grand total of what I've made for the month. So I actually have to leave in about 5 minutes to go pick up a piece I'm gonna be transforming. So let's get to furniture flipping. So here's my first piece. I got this chair for 10 bucks. I talked the lady down from 20, but I think in terms of flipping, you gotta try to talk people down as much as possible. So when I got this chair, I instantly was like, I'm gonna paint this black. Shocking, I know. And if I was actually keeping this piece, that would be something I would do, but since I'm selling it, I just don't think painting it is actually worth it because the wood and the cane are both in really good condition. There's only a few spots on this chair that could be touched up with some brown paint. But one thing that's gonna make a huge difference is doing some new cushion covers because the current cushion covers aren't really selling the mid-century modern dream. And the best part is doing new cushion covers is not gonna take that long. So I think that's kind of like the sweet spot when it comes to flipping furniture, is doing things that make a big impact but don't take that long. So with that being said, I'm gonna get started sewing. Okay, where do I even begin with this process? Well, first off, I have been so excited to get started this month. I've been planning this out for a while now, and over the last 2 weeks, in between all of my other projects, I've been running out here and there collecting furniture so that this week I could just hit the ground running. And something I totally forgot to mention in the intro, I did go ahead and set for myself a profit goal I am trying to make this month. So my goal is to make enough money flipping furniture to completely cover the cost of the floors that I am putting in my basement for my basement makeover. And I did set that goal before I even had the floors picked out, but this week we went and picked out the floors and got the grand total and purchased them and everything, and now I'm a little less optimistic that I'm going to make that goal because the floors ended up being roughly $1,000 more than I thought they were gonna be, but I am going to try my best, and this is just supposed to be fun and kind of a challenge for me. So this month I am aiming to make $2,800. Do I think that's going to happen? I have my doubts. So my studio I turned into a furniture flippin' zone. I cleared everything I could out of this room, so hopefully I can work on multiple pieces at once. I've got Sheila over there ready to go with a cutting area in case I need to do some reupholstering. I rolled up my rug so that if I have to paint, I can lay down a tarp quickly and not worry about getting my rug filled with paint. And this first piece, I realized I had to work out some spider webs. I mean, it has only been a few months since I've done done a cushion cover, but by the mistakes I made, you would have thought it had been years. I first of all made a huge error in the pattern for the seat cushion, but luckily at this point I'm pretty good at fixing my mistakes, so I switched what I thought was going to be the seat cushion to the back cushion. And then I went on to make the real seat cushion with the right measurements. Also, I guess I forgot how to sew in a zipper, so I had to seam rip that out. And then the cushion that came with the chair, I thought when I opened it up it would be more of a foam material, but it was nothing but fluff. And the fluff was not going to work with the cushion I was making. Luckily, I did have some thick foam sitting around from the couch I made for my patio. That finally came in handy. I'm glad I kept the scraps from that project. And in the end, all these little mistakes really added up to this taking a lot longer than it should have been. But in the end, I am super happy with how this chair turned out. Would painting it black take it maybe a little step further? Yes, but I definitely think I'm going to be able to make a profit on this piece. It hasn't sold yet, but I've had a good amount of interest, but no official sale. Okay, we are moving right on to my second pieces. So with these chairs, I kind of went through the same process as I did with the first chair, where I got them and was like, I'ma paint those black. But then after assessing them, they're in really good condition. They're really sturdy. The wood's in really good condition. The cane on the back is in really good condition. There's a bit of wear on the arms of this chair, but besides that, they're in good condition. The only part that really isn't in the best condition is the seat cushions. All I'm gonna do is quickly reupholster the seat cushions using some faux brown leather, and that'll be it. So, let's get to it. So to be honest, I haven't watched or seen a ton of videos with people who furniture flip, but I have seen enough that this concept of furniture flipping for reselling has really intrigued me for a while. And I know that there are people out there that furniture flipping is like what they do. Either they only furniture flip for the content on their channel, this is how they make a living, or they do it as a side hustle. But then on top of that, I've seen people do crazy different levels of transformations. For example, I've seen somebody take an old dresser, do a ton of stuff to it, and completely change it into a new piece. And then I've also seen people take a piece of furniture, spray a little Windex on it, clean it off, take some nicer photos, and they flip a piece that way. And throughout the month, I really want to explore all of the different levels of flipping. This first week, I will say I was a bit afraid to spend too much time on one piece. I wasn't sure if in the end I would make the money back for all the time spent, so doing simpler transformations like these two chairs was perfect to get started. Reupholstering these two chairs took maybe 30 minutes, and I think it made a big difference. Again, like the first chair, I've had a good amount of interest, just nobody could come pick it up yet, so I can't say they have officially sold. Okay, on to my third piece, and I caved on this one. So what I'm gonna be doing with this guy to flip it is painting it black. I had to. I think the black is just really gonna make this cane pop. Also, I did not plan for this to be a cane video, but what can I say? Cane and mid-century modern is all just so popular right now. I think that these things are gonna sell all really quickly. So to get started on this piece, I'm going to sand it and prime it. And once the primer is done, I'm probably gonna move the fourth and fifth piece that I'm working on this week up here as well, so that I can sand and prime those guys as well. Okay, yep, I am painting another thing black. I know I've done this before 1,000 times on my channel, but I swear I do go through a process of determining what to do with a piece. I usually look over the whole piece, I check out if there's any cosmetic damages, I look at the style of the piece and what is going to make this thing a more striking item. And after doing all of that, I came to the conclusion that painting this little table black was going to be the best choice. I knew it would cover up a little bit bit of the damages that I saw on the top of the table. It would make it a sleeker looking piece, and also the biggest thing, it would make the cane pop. And that's another reason I've been so intrigued by this non-personal furniture flipping. The challenge of trying to figure out what to do with the piece and how to fix it up the best is really exciting. I have to be way more strategic about what I buy, how much I buy it for, and what I do to the piece. And I think the best part, and the thing I'm really excited for, is exploring all the different styles. When I flip something to go in my home, well, of course I flip it to match my style, but now I get to flip something to fit a totally different style. And I really do appreciate all the different styles out there, and now I get to try them out. And if you are new to my channel and you would like to know how I actually paint furniture, I always sand down a piece. I do 2 thin layers of primer, so basically I dry brush the primer onto the item. This really works the primer into the piece and you don't get any of those goopy areas. And then I do 2 layers of paint, and the first layer I do really thin, and the second layer has a little bit of a new development. I now only use a smaller, soft bristled brush. Does it take a long time? Yes it does, but I really like it, and I feel like I have more control over the paint, and I can really get all of those fine details in a piece of furniture really nice and not gooped up with paint. And then I finish off with a layer of polyacrylic to seal the piece, and if it is a piece of furniture like a table, I do 3 coats of the polyacrylic on the top since it's kind of a high traffic area. And I am very excited to let you know this piece sold, and it sold very quickly. There was even a bit of a bidding frenzy over this thing, so I ended up selling it for more than I had it listed. And I think this piece gave me the confidence to go on and do some bigger flips in the coming weeks. Also, in the process, I got a returning customer. The lovely lady that got this piece has now sent me photos of items she would like to hire me to fix up. So this table definitely went to the right person. So at this point, you guys know what the third piece turned out like. Hopefully it looks really cool, because in my lead time, it's right behind this camera and it only has the first coat of primer. But we're going to move right on to our 4th and 5th pieces for the week, and also our final pieces for the week. Okay, so these tables behind me are super heavy and very solid, and the best part about them, I got them for free. So I'm just going to get started and let voiceover Miley take over and explain what I'm doing. Let's go! Okay, the last 2 items of the first week of furniture flipping. I really struggled to pick out exactly what to do to these flippin' tables. Flippin' tables. Okay, I got distracted. But my original plan was to pick out a color, paint the tables that color, and then do a thin piece of plywood and do a tile tabletop to replace the glass. But then I kind of freaked myself out, because adding up the cost of the supplies and thinking about the projected time it would take to do all of that, I just wasn't sure if I was gonna make the money back, and in the end it would be worth it. And looking back, I kind of wish I stuck to that idea, but I am happy with what I came up with. So yes, I did also paint these tables black, but at this point, you know there is a reason for painting it black. One of the legs on the coffee table had a little bit of damage. It was very much cosmetic and not structural, but I wanted to minimize the look of this damage, and I think any of the other colors or a lighter shade would have really highlighted this spot, whereas black I was hoping would make it kind of disappear or push it into the background. Also, these tables are very straight and boxy, so I think black fit the style the best. And after both tables were painted, I took some measurements of where the glass went, and I got some of my favorite project boards to replace the glass. I also did contemplate laminating some wood together, but these project boards are pre-laminated boards, so it ended up saving a ton of time. And if you don't know what laminating wood together is, it's the process of taking a bunch of pieces of wood, gluing them together, and then using pressure from a clamp to squeeze the boards together until it dries. And then after that, it's basically like it's one piece of wood. So since I didn't do that, this made it much easier, and so I could just cut these boards down to size, and then I used my favorite dark walnut stain. I sealed both of them up using my polyacrylic, and that finished off these pieces. And once all the pieces were done, I moved them to different places around my house to stage them. I know staging is a huge part of furniture flipping, and you want to spend more time on your post, and you want to list all the features of the piece of furniture and show that in pictures. And in the end, so far I've only officially sold the cane table, but I have a ton of interest in all the other pieces, so by next week I should definitely have some updates for you guys. I hope you liked this video, guys, and I'm so excited to take you on this journey of learning how to furniture flip. And if you guys have any specific items that you would like to see me flip, or a certain style you would like to see me do, please let me know in the comments down below. I can definitely keep a lookout for some specific items. As always, thanks so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye, guys!